Hello there, my name is Philip, and I'll be the reviewer for this game. I play as a Fox 5 Dan. Instead of following Joseki's, white chose to bump here, and black correctly try to punish this bump or try to counterattack. This was one of the best moves. The other best move and the best move is this one. However, this one is very sensible, and the difference between the two is small. Once white captures this stone, and white should capture this stone, black can cut on the other side and draw back. Now we have disconnected the white stones here. White can try to run out, but black is able to defend both sides at the same time while developing points. This group will be kind of dummy. I think this would be great for black. The game would still be very close, but I like black in that situation. If we had a straight invade here, we can play this move directly. Black pushes once, white extends, and now black can do more or less the same sort of shape, I guess. And there's this Tetsuji, and this Tetsuji tries to rescue this stone, right? So if white tries to go out, black plays here, and this group is questionably alive, and there's still the matter of V stones. So white has no choice but to capture this stone, and then white crawls here. The difference is that white is like this in the game, and I think even though having a stone here helps with protecting against this honey from black, this is kind of endgame, and endgame isn't that relevant at this stage in the game. When you have a shape like this, white is like almost pretty much alive. So white can even Tenuki 16. So maybe it's a benefit for white. And there's also the fact that once we get to this shape, we can also be very free to use moves like this to invade the right side. So maybe this shape is even stronger or even more useful than having a shape like this. So overall, I think the shape that happened in the game might be even better for white. But these are very difficult things to grasp. The other throwing, this throwing, is I think easier to understand. For example, if we get to this shape, it's like the other Joseki with a Punuki. It's another version of the free invasion. If we get a double honey here, now white has a Punuki, and if black plays this move, white wouldn't play here. White would try to go out or maybe even Tenuki, because black doesn't have a clean way of capturing this whole group in one move. If white Tenukis and black plays here, white can still crawl. White still has the switches like this to either live or control the damage in this area. If we go back to the game and we do this other throwing, it's it's a lot like we have managed to get white to make an empty triangle or add a move to a very strong shape. That would be a small victory for black. But this is all very difficult to see in a game, and both players played very well. The other thing I would like to comment about this whole sequence is that it's not Joseki. It's none of the Josekis we are used to seeing, either before AI or after AI. The options for Josekis are A, B, C, and nowadays we play D. So if A, we can, we actually push, and cut, and then do this, and honey, white takes, and we do a tiger's mouth here. There are a lot of holes in black shape on the right, and white has a very solid shape on the top. It's as close to alive or as alive as it gets. The other Joseki, the most common one before AI would be going down here. Black can either answer like this or this. And then white in the future has moves like this as emergency measures against black going down. And there's still this sort of cut, or even or this as well. So those are the drawbacks or what happens after that Joseki. This one is also a very powerful move. Black would continue like this or this, and this sort of thing uh, is very powerful in the near future. The last option for white is to play here, which is the AI Joseki. So this would be the AI Joseki, and white can choose to turn here immediately or not. Usually, I think as humans we would turn once, and if black answers, we just don't continue. If black answers like this, we also don't continue, and we have basically diminished the right side quite a bit while also taking a big corner. This is a Joseki, so it's even for both, but I think it's more difficult for black to play than for white. Okay, very well played for both here. If white had done the counter honey on the other side, we can see that this stone is a little bit closer than B, so white would feel more pressure. And not only that, since B is a bit farther away, it's more territory for black to develop while attacking the C group. Going for this other side is better. It's a good choice for white. Nice. So far, so good for both players. And this, I think, is maybe the first mistake for black. What happened in the top right is difficult to see, especially in a real game. But this move is easier to spot as a mistake, I think. Black should block and then connect. This shape is very thick. White will be able to not only live in this area, but make a reasonable amount of points, probably 10 points, close to 10 points. But the game goes on. Black has a lot of power in this area, and it's gonna be a battle for Sente for the remaining big moves. Since black has a lot of thickness around the board, I think black will be much freer to play throughout the rest of the game. And it's very important to note that since B is reasonably thick, invading at C is much more likely and much easier. White has less territory than it seems. I think I prefer white, but the game is still very close. I would have stretch down here. We should keep going around this area because it exposes weaknesses around A. And remember, if A isn't very strong, if this area for black isn't very strong, then the invasions around B become way weaker. But all right, this is also a reasonable sequence. Maybe we can push once more and then go back now that we don't have any issues around A. And blocking like this is not recommended usually. We prefer blocking like this if we want to block, because if we place a stone around A, we are too close to a strong group. And that might present us with difficulties when fighting in the future. with respect to liberties around A. I would rather continue playing elsewhere than adding a move like this, but and this is maybe the biggest mistake for black in terms of direction of play. Once we block here, we are saying that this area is valuable and you can get one or more free moves around this area, we don't mind. But this area is very small. It's not ideal for us to keep on protecting it. Every time we push in this direction, we are getting maybe 2 points. But if we had pushed around here, we get also 2 points on the right side. But we weaken the white stone in the direction we would like to continue developing. Okay. Black kept on pushing, and I think black was satisfied with playing Josekis like this. Yeah, this is a middle game Joseki, but I don't think it's a good idea for this board position. I would rather attack this group severely or even here. And I think playing something like this makes the game become very difficult for white because white has just added a move to A that's completely connected to A. So it gets heavier because if you want to save A, you need to save B as well.